see if we can lift this. Oh my god.
Let's grow a pumpkin to talk about. Pumpkin to talk about. Backyard of your house. Pumpkin to talk about. Growing Brussels sprouts. Growing big. Pumpkin to talk about.
Albuquerque Gardening. I'm Alan. How's it going? Today is Wednesday, September 3rd. Makes today day 72 there for Gordy behind me. Let's do an update. So, yesterday was submission day at the state fair. Since we had some stem rot going on with Kyle Nugget in the front yard, I decided it was best to, while treating that, scraping away the dead stuff and then treating it with some alcohol to keep it dry. I decided that the best option was to cut that one early, take it to the state fair. And for that footage, let's go to Alan from 2 days ago. Thanks, Alan, from 2 days from now. Yeah, so we're gonna cut this pumpkin off today, the front yard pumpkin Kyle Nugget, because the stem rot has progressed and state fair submissions are tomorrow. So we're gonna salvage this pumpkin, get it dried out, get the stem rot stopped. We're gonna take it in tomorrow. Well, that's it. Stem rot has kept progressing despite us trying to get a hold of it. If I wanted to, I probably could keep taking care of the stem and just be conscious of the watering situation for the next month or so. But honestly, I don't feel like doing that, so we're gonna go ahead and get this harvested today and get it submitted for the state fair tomorrow. I know we're not going to win first place, but it's a nice and pretty one, so that'll be fun anyway. Alright, well, there's the entire growing area. Is that about 10 feet by 10 feet? But not all of it was grown in. Yeah, there's the pumpkin. With one leaf, we kept the leaf. Here's the crown. Nice and pretty on the splits it was getting. Again, I'm just kind of impressed with the size of this overall plant and pumpkin with the lack of care. A couple days ago, this estimated at about 102 pounds, and that was with the rot, so let's see if we can get this picked up and weighed. Alright, let's see if we can lift this. Oh my god. I can't lift that. We had to get creative because that thing was a little too heavy for me to sumo lift on my own. So all I have to do is get it a couple inches from where it is to where I need it to be. Piece of cake. This is marvelous. Get down these guys. Okay. Not nearly as nerve-wracking as last year.
But if I move it here, it's not going to go, it's going to go down. So it's 110 and 12 ounces. Yeah.
Yeah, so after that, we kept the pumpkin indoors for a day, kept it in a stable environment out of the sun, and basically let the stem dry up a little more as it sat there for a day. I was hoping that would get rid of the active stem rot, stop pushing food and nutrients into the pumpkin, therefore giving the stem a chance to dry out. Hypothesis proven. We did it. So yeah, took Kyle Nugget to the state fair yesterday and was weighed in at 110 pounds and 12 ounces. Let's do an update on Gordy, the 2083 Bledsoe seed, who is still chugging along and has the rest of September to grow. So, like I said, today is day 72. I am still measuring for estimated weight. Earlier in the week, radio host TJ Trout came by, took a picture with me in the pumpkin, and we did put out there that at that time, Gordy was 915 pounds. It's several days ago. We're still doing about 10 pounds a day. Alright, let's look at plant health before we get up close, because, you know, getting a little more of this dead looking stuff, and that's not a problem. We got plenty of new stuff filling in, and as you can probably tell here, all these leaves are still pretty new. We got tertiaries popping up wanting to fill in space. Pretty much everywhere you look, these things are popping up like crazy now. And so a lot of the work we're doing just involves getting in there, cutting away these vines. Still hoping to redirect all the growth onto the fruit itself. I am overjoyed to see that powdery mildew is not really getting a foothold. I'm still spraying with rotating between Daconil fungicide. That's a contact fungicide that you spray on every couple days, and then after a few treatments of that, I swap out and use something called Immunox, a systemic fungicide. Woo. That usually covers you for about 10 days. You spray it onto the leaves after diluting it with water, and you don't have to worry about spraying your plant for several days. It doesn't stop. Once you have powdery mildew, you have powdery mildew. You can stop its spread, but you can't stop it. So, this late into the season, I'm pretty happy to see that it hasn't really gotten a chance to take hold. Other side shot there of Gordy. Yeah, all this other vine space is, you know, all these other vines are kind of growing in and wanting to do some stuff. Still not a whole lot popping in here. It's not nothing, but that's alright. This gives me easy access to the back of the fruit, and I think that kind of works out nicely. This camera. I want to talk about this camera. I purchased it for the reason of making time-lapse footage of the pumpkin growing all season, and that was going well for about 2 months. And they updated the app. I can no longer make time lapses. This seems to be something to push people towards being subscribers. It's just a little frustrating. We got like 2 months of time lapse footage from it, and that I'm happy about, because at least we can see the progression of the big 0 to fairly good sized pumpkin video, and we just won't have where it's going from there. And that's okay, because, you know, at this point, visually it doesn't grow as much. But what are you going to do? It was a $30 camera, and I got some cool footage off of it, so I'll take a win there. So we got the fan running. Granted, this is not an outdoor use fan. It might make it if it doesn't get rained on too heavily. But, yeah. Stem is looking all right. That little thing there, that little angry bit, seems to be from stem pressure. So that's the vine. That's a secondary growing off of the pumpkin. So worst case scenario, I can just cut that. It's not going to be any real trouble. Let's get a look at that blossom end. Still no splits that I can see. Good news. Ooh. That's getting a little wider there. A little lesion. But It's nice and dry, not worried about it. Little cantaloupe developing along the entire top, but nothing that takes away the beauty. Nothing concerning. Look at this, wouldn't you believe it? We have a red spot. I should have called this one Jupiter with that great red spot. Have you ever seen a pumpkin with a red spot before? That's crazy. Pretty much on all these ribs here near the top, we're getting some cantalouping, so that's pretty cool. So this stage, still pretty much just maintenance mode, doing what we got to do to keep the pumpkin happy. We've only got 30 days till the weigh off. 31 days, not counting today. Well, 30 days not counting today till the weigh off. Maintenance mode, fall temperatures, a little bit more moisture. No, not really, because New Mexico doesn't really get more moist with the fall because we don't really get rain. So what are you going to do there? If you're in New Mexico and you plan on going to the state fair, pop over to the agriculture building while you're there, because you can see some cool pumpkins. There's also a lot of cool other stuff too. There's, you know, they got all the peppers on display. I submitted some collard greens as well, not just pumpkins. You can see my collard greens. Surprisingly enough, the one that I brought in was the lightest of all of them. It's pretty fun. There was another one grown in Berlin, believe it or not, off of one of the seeds from baby Lucas Vintonio last year, my 947 pound pumpkin. One was grown off of that, and then Kyle Nugget was grown off of one of those. So this state fair this year has 2 pumpkins from my seeds. I think that's so cool. By the way, congratulations to Karen and Maverick for growing that one. You guys did great. It has such character. People are going to love it. Theirs weighed 120 pounds, I think, right around there, 120. And the largest one that was brought in was 511 pounds. Yeah, so this year has some good pumpkins there at the fair. It seems like people are having a little more success this year, and I'm thrilled to see that. Go take your picture with my pumpkin at the state fair. I want to see it. Tag me at CitrusInYourEye on Instagram. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't. And keep on growing.